All right, we are live. Happy Monday. I think some folks are still on spring break, and St. Patrick's Day is tomorrow. And tell me that you're getting old without telling me that you're getting old, and not knowing it's St. Patrick's Day tomorrow. So wanted to pop in here and talk about the market, of course. I'd been going over a lot on the MLS and all that. And I wanted to take a little bit of time, to look at some other sources. And something interesting is happening in the Houston housing market right now. And if we haven't met yet, my name is Armando. I'm a Houston local realtor, over 30 years in the Houston area that I've lived in, and inventory is rising. Homes are taking longer to sell, and buyers are suddenly having negotiating power again, and which is nothing new. It's been like that for a while now, about 2 or 3 years. But at the exact same time, pending sales are jumping, and the spring market has already started, y'all. So the real question isn't is the market crashing, which has been the biggest questions. The real question in Houston homeowners need to be asking about are, did y'all miss the window to sell, or is this actually the best moment to list? And let's look at the data together. And today's date is March 16th, 2026. So let's get into it. And something that I like to look into, of course, is other sources with different, online sources more so than just the HAR, which is another great source. And I like to check out other sources. Today we're looking at Houston Agent Magazine. I don't work for them. I don't get paid by them. This is written by Emily Merrick, and it was written 3 days ago about the Houston housing market gains momentum. So I always like to check out other sources and kind of seeing what the world is really talking about in our cities. So as you can see, the sources on the screen reporting the data from the Houston Association of Realtors, which I've been showing you all week. And Houston inventory has increased by 14.3% year over year, and the market now has about 4.8 months of housing supply. And that means there are more homes available for buyers that we've seen in several years. And why is this happening? Three forces are driving this. The sellers who waited through higher interest rates are finally listing. Builders, y'all, are delivering a lot of new homes from last year or two, and buyers are being more selective and with the higher days on market. So instead of homes disappearing in 3 days, the market is starting to normalize, is what I've been talking about over the weekend. And what it means to you as a buyer, because we all want to know like how to translate this data, is you finally have more choices out there and more negotiating power. So we're talking, not just offer price, but terms, maybe seller concessions to help out with closing costs. Maybe there's some repairs that need to be made, big ticket items. I just closed with a buyer a couple weeks ago, and the home was aged. It was only 8 years, but it had wear and tear and from the inspection, and I was able to negotiate a brand new roof. I also negotiated about $10,000 seller concessions to be paid by the seller to the buyer at closing. I also had my seller, not my seller, excuse me, had the seller pay my buyer agent commission. So no money had to come out of my buyer client's pocket. And I mean, we got the closing date they wanted and everything. So it was a beautiful offer transaction process. And so if you're a seller out there, because I also represent sellers, a lot of sellers, pricing strategy really matters more than ever. Homes priced correctly still sell fast, and homes that are priced emotionally, tend to sit and reduce. So the ones that are higher priced, thinking, okay, this home's my baby, which I totally get, right? You've been probably lived in it for more than 5, 10 years. You've seen your family grow up in it, so it's worth more to you, but maybe not towards the other buyer. And so the Houston market isn't crashing right now, but The days of throwing any price on a house and expecting five offers are over, y'all. And so this is for the sellers. And would it be crazy to say that the first 2 weeks on the market determine whether home sells for top dollar? And we're going to be talking about how the spring market is also now starting. So this article here is pretty good about telling another side of the story. It's always good to look at other articles that are coming straight up from the Houston Association of Realtors, is which I like to see. So and what's happening? So the pending sales are up. We talked about that. Buyers are quietly entering the market again. Most people think the spring market starts in April or May, but the MLS data shows activity is already increasing in March, is what I talked about on the market update last week. If you want to, not now, but later after this video, go back to that video. Several things are driving this. Yeah, if Houston continues attracting relocation buyers, families want to move before the school year. Buyers who paused when rates hit 7% are coming back in the market. And what it means for you guys for the buy side is right now, maybe the calm before the competition arrives, right? So you want to get there before all the competition gets back into the market. For them thinking the spring market doesn't really start till April or May, right? And for the sellers out there, this is often when the smart sellers list, not when everyone else lists for the competition, right? And so the spring market has already started. Most homeowners just don't realize it yet. And would it be a mistake to wait until summer to list, which is a lot of sellers do, and that's what we see happening. Um, and homes are sitting a lot longer is what this article also talks about. They're taking around 69 days on average to sell, which we talked about that last week, which is longer than we've seen in over a decade, which is a long time. And why is this happening? You got two reasons. Buyers have more inventory to choose from the inventory numbers, and some sellers are still pricing homes based on 2021 expectations. And yesterday I talked about all the expired listings that came off the market, which the expired means that didn't sell, that failed to sell, and that just fell off the market from the expiration listing date end date, and that was in the Oak Forest, Heights, Timber Grove, Lazy Brook, and Northside Village and Spring Branch. And so the market eventually corrects those prices. So what it means for you guys for the buy side, homes sitting around 21 to 45 days often become negotiation opportunities. The first 2 weeks of your listing is very critical for the sellers out there because once a home sits, buyers start wondering, what's wrong with it, what repairs it needs. And most price reductions happen between day 21 and day 45, right? And the MLS data shows it every time. I mean, we talked over the weekend about the MLS data and those days on market. And so, would you rather price correctly on day one or chase the market with price reductions? All right. And then the second article that I was checking out today is CBS News. I'm not a big fan of CBS News, but hey, I just came in my news feed. Home prices are poised to dip in 2020. I'm sorry. Home prices are poised to dip in 20 and 22 US cities next year, a new analysis says. So see where it's been a long day. So it looks like Mary Cunningham wrote this up February 3rd of this year and definitely talks about the mortgage rates are stabilizing in this area. So what's happening? Um, Economists expect mortgage rates to average around 6.3% in 2026. So I talked a lot about from Jerome Powell, the Fed chair, back in, I believe, in December, that it's probably not going to reach under 6% for a while. It was at 5.99% in early January. And that was when Trump announced that the government was going to buy $200 billion worth of government backed loans of the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac loans. And so, but it's hovering around 6.6%. I think today is at 6.3 something percent. So why is it happening? Inflation. Inflation has cooled. The Federal Reserve slowed rate increases, and markets are adjusting to new normal interest rates environments. And what does it mean for you buyers? What does it mean? Many buyers are adopting a new strategy, which is buy now and refinance later. And I've heard this saying, marry the house or date the rate, marry the house, which is a very controversial saying, saying if, just buy the house and then refinance later. Well, you got to be careful because if you can't afford the house, then you may be in trouble. But a lot of you guys know what you're doing. And for the sellers out there, this means buyers are still active, but they're more careful about the price. They're a little more price sensitive. So if mortgage rates drop even 0.5%, Houston could see another wave of buyers. And I'm always checking the mortgage rates daily. So would it be unrealistic to keep waiting for 4% mortgage rates? And because that's everyone's, wants to thinking it's going to be under 4%, most likely not, right? The market is returning to a normal, healthy market again. And what's happening? The US housing market is shifting towards a balanced market. Buyers have options again, but sellers still have strong demand. Why is it happening? Pandemic market conditions were extreme, new inventory is increasing, and buyers are adjusting to rates. And what does it mean for you guys, buyers out there and sellers? For the buyers out there, you have negotiation opportunities again. I just talked about, I had a closing a week and a half ago with some buyers. I mean, I was able to negotiate everything for them that helped them out. And they actually got a check at closing. I almost forgot. They got a check at closing. So they were paid to buy a house, crazy enough. So for the sellers out there, homes that are priced well and marketed correctly, emphasized correctly, still sell. And it's the old, fashion, don't stick a sign in the yard and put it on the MLS and walk away, right? So the housing market isn't crashing, it's normalizing right now. Would you rather sell in a chaotic market or a stable one? And another quick question for the debaters out there in the comments, because you guys have a lot of strong opinions in real estate and all that good stuff. Are Houston home prices about to drop? And because the reality and the data, the median price are slightly declining, average price slightly increased, meaning some homes are overpriced, some homes still sell fast, and the market isn't dropping, but bad listings are. So look, every home and every situation is a little different, a lot of differences in there. And some homes right now are still selling quickly, others are sitting and reducing. So if you're ever wondering how your specific home would perform in this market, or if you're trying to figure out whether now is the right time to buy, feel free to reach out. I'm always available, and I'm always happy to help to at least take a look at the numbers with you and give you an